Hello everyone, welcome to this JMeter tutorial. In this tutorial, we will learn how to generate the HTML report in the JMeter. So let's begin. In our previous session, we learned that how we can execute our scripts from the command line, right? So after executing your scripts, you might need to send the report to your management, maybe the client or maybe the stakeholders. Okay. In JMeter, you have an ability to generate an HTML report. Okay. Once you can generate that HTML report, you can send it to your management or the client. So in JMeter, there are three ways to generate the HTML report. The first one is through the command line. Okay. And then we have another method. Again, this is related to the command line. Okay. And then we can use the interface, JMeter interface, to generate the HTML report. Interface to generate the HTML report. So now what is the difference between the first and second command line method? Okay. So in first method, what we will be doing is that we will be executing our scripts, executing scripts, and at the very same time, we would be generating CSV file, or we would be logging our results into CSV file, and once that file will be generated, we will be generating HTML report from that file. Okay. And in the second method, command line method, what we will be doing is that we would be generating HTML report from existing results file. Okay. So your results file might be CSV or it might be .jtl. Okay. So in the second method, you would be generating from the existing file. You're not executing your scripts. Okay. And in first method, you're executing the script. At the same time, once they got executed, they log the data into a CSV file or .jtl file, and from that file it will automatically generate the HTML report. So in the first part, in the first command line, we need to provide all the details. Okay. For example, we need to tell the JMeter, okay, where to log the results, and also we need to tell where JMeter needs to generate HTML report. Okay. And obviously what we need to do is that we also need to tell the JMeter which script needs to execute it. Okay. So in our previous session, we learned that. Okay. So I'm opening the command prompt here. So here, if you can see that in order to run from the command line, we know that we need to provide a keyword called JMeter -n -t. -n means non-UI mode, -t which test we want to execute, -l is basically where we want to log the data, either it's a CSV file or .jtl file, and then -e-o. So here we need to provide a path of the folder where we need to generate the HTML report. So this is a whole complete command to generate the HTML report, and this is a command which we are referring to this first method, first command line method. Okay. In the second method, we would be only providing the log file or the CSV file and the path of the HTML folder. Okay. And in the third method, which is a UI method, okay, so let me open the JMeter here. So if you go to the tools here, you can see that generate HTML report. You will find this option in the latest versions of the JMeter. In the version 3, you might not find this option. Okay. So in the latest version like 5.4, 5.4.1, you will find this option. Just click on this one and we have these three options here. Okay. Now what we will do is that we will open one script. Okay. We will try run that script. We will run that script from the command line, and then we will see how we can generate the HTML report using these three different methods. Okay, now let's open the JMeter, and in the JMeter go to the file section, go to the open, and let's open the test we created earlier. I'm opening my API performance testing script here for this demo here. Okay, now this script has three API requests. One is a SOAP and other two are basically a REST API request. Okay, so always the best practice is to dry run your script before you actually execute or put a load on that one. Okay, so I'm changing a thread group to one here, and let's run this one and let's see how it works. So it start executing and it got executed successfully. All requests got executed perfectly here. Okay, so now what we need to do is that we need to open a command prompt in order to execute from the command line, right? So we need to go to my JMeter directory here. So for that, cd, and let me see what is my folder. And yeah, so this is my folder here, and this is cd apache dash JMeter dash 5.4. okay, and same again, and then cd bin. So now we are in the JMeter directory, bin directory, right? So from here we can execute our script using the command line. So we know that the command line is basically using a keyword called JMeter. So JMeter, and if you don't remember the syntax or the command for that one, so you can always refer to this window. This window opens up when you actually start the JMeter, right? So the command here is that JMeter dash n means non-GUI mode, t is the test script, which is .jmx file. Then we need to define where we log the file, okay, and then we need to define where we need to place the HTML report. Okay, so let me go here again and let me follow this command dash n dash t, and let me go to the directory here and let me find my script. So this is my script. So let me copy this one from here. Let me copy from here and let me go here in the command prompt. So this is my test script, now dash l, and now I need to provide a file where we need to place or log the data. Okay, so here you can do two things here. The first thing is that you can create a file and give a path of that file, okay, or you can just give a path. It will automatically generate a file for you. Okay, so let me go to my desktop here, and in the desktop, okay, so let me copy the path from here. Okay, so this is the path I'm copying from here. Let me go to this command prompt here, and what we need to provide dash l. Okay, now we need to provide a path. Okay, let me give it name as results, okay, dot csv. So what it will do is that it will execute my script and generate a CSV file on my desktop with a name called results.csv. Okay, so far we are not generating HTML report, so just click on enter here and let's see what happens. Okay, so it will start executing the JMeter script and it will generate a log file, and in the log file it will capture all the results. Okay, so the results got executed successfully, and let's go to the desktop and you can see that it generates a result file. Let's open this one here and you can see that we have a results here. Okay, so that's how you can generate a log file. Now let's create a folder here on the desktop. Okay, and I'm naming it as HTML report. Okay, so this is my folder now. So I need to generate a HTML report, and I need to place this HTML report here inside this particular folder. Okay, Right click on this one, go to the properties here and copy. Okay, just cancel this one, go inside the folder, copy the complete path from here, copy this one. Now again go to the command prompt and you need to provide this command. Then we need to provide dash e dash o and the path of the folder. Okay, now one thing you need to ensure is that whenever you execute this command, you need to ensure that this particular CSV file should be empty. We know that it would be generating a new file every time, but if the file is already being generated, it will always prompt an error here that file is not empty. So for that, what I'm doing right now is that generating a new file here, and I'm calling the file here as results1.csv. Okay, now let's run this one and let's see what happens. Okay, so it will start executing. It will first generate the CSV file with the name called results1.csv, and from that particular file it will generate a HTML report. So the execution is completed. Now let's go to this one and open this results one and see either we have a data here or not. And yes, we have a data here. And now just go to this HTML report folder, and here you can see that we have now different folders and index.html file. Right now open this file and let's see. This is how your HTML report looks like. So you have different sections here. Here you can see the request summary, which is the source file, start time, end time. Okay, we will discuss about this report later on, understand this report, but right now just understand that how you can generate this report. So what else you get in this report is different charts here. Okay, so you have different chart response times over time, active threads over time, latency over time. Okay, and if you want to generate a custom graph, you can do that as well. Okay, so this graphs will really help you to understand in detail, and you can also share this with your stakeholders. So this is the first method. Now what we will do is that we would be using our second method. Okay, so we would be generating from the existing results file. Okay, now what I'm doing is that I'm removing this data from here. Okay, and this folder is empty now, and we have there is results one file already available here, and from this file we would be generating a HTML report. Okay, now let's go to the command prompt here, and this time what you need to do is that you need to provide a keyword called JMeter. Now dash G, then you need to provide a path of your CSV file. This is a path of your CSV file. Okay, so let me copy the path from here. Okay, so this is our file. Just go to the command prompt here and slash, so it's results one dot csv, and then we need to provide an output folder here. So you need to provide dash o and the path of your HTML folder where you want that HTML report. You can see that this folder is empty now. I'm copying the path from here, and let's go to the command prompt here and paste this here. So right now what we are doing is that we are just generating a HTML report from the existing CSV file. Okay, so let's hit enter and see what happens now. So it will generate a HTML report from the existing CSV file. So once it would be completed, it will look like this way. So you will not get any proper message here. Now just go to this folder, and you can see that now we have this data in the HTML folder. Okay, so if I go here, you can see we have a data here. Now click on index and you will see the same report, and again you can see the source file, start time, end time, and other details here in the HTML report. So in case of the errors, you will see the errors here. Okay, so right now what I'm doing is that let's open the JMeter and modify the script a little bit so that we can get some errors. Okay, so for that I'm adding one assertion, and if I go to this SOAP API, so the size here in bytes is 279. Okay, so what I'm doing is that I'm adding an assertion of size, and I'm saying that it is equal to 100. So whenever it got executed, it will fail. So I'm intentionally failing this one, and let me increase the number of threads as well. So now the number of threads would be 10. Okay, so now let's go to the command prompt here, and before that let me clear this folder here. Okay, and now just go back to the command prompt, and we need to provide the whole complete command because I have modified the script, so I want to execute a modified version of the script, right? So for that I'm executing the whole command, and again I'm changing a file, results file here to results2, so that we don't need to go again and again and clear the data from the file. Okay, now let's execute this one, and let's see. Now it will fail some data, and we will see some errors in the report because the size was somewhere around 260, and we are saying that it should be equal to 100. Okay, now just open the JMeter, and okay, now let's go to the in the HTML folder. Now open this index file, and now you can see that the result source file is basically results2.csv. Okay, and we have some failures, which is 33%, and 66% are passed now. And if you go down here, now you can see that this is the error. So the result was wrong size, so it is saying what type of error we have, how many times we got this error, so what is the percentage in terms of error for this particular sample, and with respect to the all samples. So with respect to the all samples is 33%, specific to this sample is 100%. So again, if there are multiple errors, so it will show top 5 errors for you here. Okay, now we have remaining one more method, which is basically to generate from the interface. Okay, so I am deleting this data from here. Okay, so that we can generate from the UI. Just go to the JMeter here, go to the tools option, and click on generate HTML report. Again, you need to provide a CSV file, so let me browse the CSV file. So it was results2, right? So I'm going to my desktop here, and sorry, so here's my desktop. So this is the result file. You need to select this one, then you need to select the user.property file. So I'm browsing that file. It would be in your JMeter folder. Okay, so you need to go to the JMeter folder, into the bin. In bin you will find this user.properties file. Click on this one, and now you need to provide a output directory. Okay, so our output directory was basically on desktop. Okay, and on desktop we have this HTML report folder. Okay, and let me reconfirm either we have cleared the data or not. So the data is cleared here, and now go to the JMeter here, click on generate. So it will generate the HTML report. Now we know that we have these multiple options. Okay, the best option is the command line. You can choose between the first two methods, okay, depending on your requirement. So in some cases you might not need to generate a HTML report. Okay, you might be working from the existing CSV file, depending on your circumstances and the requirement. For example, if I'm working as a performance test engineer, I am running the scripts again and again to see the bottlenecks and the fixes and how it is impacting the system. So for that, I might not need to generate a HTML report. Okay, so I just need to take care of the CSV data file and results. And because I am a performance test engineer, so I don't need to have a HTML report every time. So depending on your scenarios, you can use this command line. Interface is not recommended because now the data is very small in the CSV file. Once you have millions of data, it will start crashing. You will not able to generate a proper results file. So always use this command line for generating the HTML report. So now the file has been generated successfully. Now let's confirm this one. So go to the folder here and see. So now you can see that the files has been generated. Click on index file and you can see that we have a proper results file here. So that's how we can generate HTML report using the different CSV files from the command line and as well as from the UI in JMeter. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. If you like our content, then do subscribe our channel, like, share and comment. And once again, thank you so much and see you in the next lecture.